Welcome to the Woman Project. We are so glad you're here. My name is Summer Elliott,
And I'm Ilonka Deaton.
and welcome. The Women's Project is a place where we laugh, where we go deep with Jesus, where we tell real stories, and that is exactly what we are going to do today.
Yep.
So if you missed our first episode, it will be, we'll have a link or something. We'll do something so you can make sure to watch that one. And
Yeah,
be fun.
definitely. It's a wild and crazy story, our first episode, and also gives you a little bit of insight on who we are, who I am, and who Summer is, and how this project came together. But we are very glad you are here, and we are in an exciting series, aren't we, Summer?
We are. This series is the things I did in my 20s that I would never do in my 40s, which is pretty much everything.
Yes.
But like I said on our first episode, going back has been quite entertaining. I realized that there is something about your youth where you just do things and you don't think. You just go. You just do.
Yeah, you do, and you think you're invincible, and you go and you do it. But looking back, doesn't it make you see the Lord, though?
Oh, everywhere. Like well, his hand was all over my life, and I do wanna say, because 'cause I'm sure my mom will listen to this, thank you, Kathy. Thank you for being a mom who prayed because
Yes, for
I'm
sure.
sure you know what's funny? I was like, "We should have our moms on and have them tell stories about us in our 20s," because I'm sure my mom would be like, "Oh, that I would don't even
That would be
remember." Or I'm
hilarious.
like, "It
Oh, I'm
wasn't like
sure.
that, mom." She's like, "Oh, it was like that."
Oh, I'm sure that they have things that we've forgotten about, you know,
Absolutely.
intentionally forgotten about.
100%.
100%. Yeah.
Yes.
But this is a fun series because we we invite all of you into this with us because we want you to be real and raw and to look at your stories differently in your past, you know? We all have made questionable decisions and have made mistakes, but Jesus' grace covers all of that. And we don't want to live in shame. We do honor God and give him the glory for everything in our lives, but we do want to be honest and real about, things that we've gone through and laugh. You
And
know,
laugh.
there's so much seriousness in the world. We want to laugh a bit. So I cannot wait to hear what you are going to share today, Summer. I want to hear this. What is your crazy story?
Okay. I was thinking about it because I have several. But this one I think is, for me, the craziest. But let me set the scene. So I was not in a good place in my life. I had made a lot of bad choices that came to kind of bite me in the rear end, and I needed to just kind of get away. So it was my 20th birthday, and it was 1997.
Okay.
So just think of the era, all the things. It was
All the fun music.
the clothes, like
Oh, yeah.
crop top
Oh,
shirts, the
come on.
little short, the hot, as you said, hot pants. These are
Daisy
like hot
Dukes.
shorts. Oh,
Uh-uh.
big time.
Big time Daisy
Um,
Dukes, yeah.
I was in San Diego, and like I said, not in a good place. I had been engaged, and I decided that I liked boys a little too much and probably should not commit myself to one. So
Okay.
it was my 20th birthday, and I went to Seattle, Washington on vacation. And my favorite aunt had lived or had just moved up there, but one of my childhood friends, Josh, lived up there. And so he was like, "Well, come on up and we'll go out for your birthday." And I was like, "Great." So I did. And he picked me up
Mhm.
August 10th, 1997. And I was in a crop top and little black. I couldn't rem I ca honestly can barely remember what I wore yesterday, but I remember everything about this story because it's just that story. So he picks me up, we go to Outback for dinner, and then he takes me downtown Seattle. And, I was not 21, obviously, but he was over 21, so he took me to a rave type club.
Oh, yeah, it was the '90s, baby.
Oh, baby. We
Oh,
loved our
baby.
raves.
I remember the machines they used to have, like, the dispenser machines where you can, like, buy ecstasy,
Oh, yeah.
out of yeah, you remember that?
Yeah,
This
you
it was
just
it
and
was
it would just
it was wild,
oh, it was what a time to be alive.
wild.
Barely made it out. So I will also tell you that that day was the last time I had ever done crystal meth.
No. Wait, what?
Mhm.
"No, no, 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 go back."
Yeah, so that was what I was in a dark place, and I had gotten clean, and I had not
On
done
your
it.
birthday?
Yes, I flew to Seattle with a little tiny bag of meth.
No, you did not.
I did. I was a rebel.
How? Well, I
Well,
guess TSA.
that was before 9/11,
Yeah.
so there was no TSA. You just hope that a drug sniffing dog didn't come by you, and you just got on the plane.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
So you came to Seattle with this and so how did you get to know that this was your last day doing that?
Well, I didn't know anybody out there, and I didn't have anywhere to buy it, and I had just told myself that I would and I it was like a tiny, tiny amount. I didn't really have a lot, thank God. But yeah, I was that was the very last
Like, officially the last day?
yeah, 100%. Even after
Wow.
everything else, like the whole heart
Praise
problem,
God
like
for
everything.
that.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Praise God for that. Yeah?
So, we go to this club, and, I go to the bathroom, and I come out, and Josh is nowhere to be found. Like, he
Oh,
went to the
God.
bar next door and left me in this club by myself.
No, he did
So
not.
yes, he did.
That
And
scoundrel.
didn't say anything, and that was we didn't have texting, like, we didn't have cell phones, so we couldn't
Oh.
just like, "Hey, where'd you go?" But I assumed that he went to the bar. And so, I am standing on, like, a back wall and just watching, like, all these people, and to this day, love to people watch, but this was, a completely different city, a different vibe. It was interesting. And a group of 4 dudes walk in, and one in particular kinda caught my eye, and if you are a child of the '80s, '90s, we loved our boy bands, and this guy comes
Oh, yeah.
walking in, and he had I mean, straight out of 98 Degrees, like,
Love it.
yes. He had the bleach blonde, tipped
Oh,
hair,
come on, yeah. Oh, the
it's so
tipped hair!
wild.
The
Oh,
tipped hair!
yeah, like, his tips were like,
My brothers had
white.
tipped hairs.
Oh, it was so bad. Um, he had on a black silk button-up shirt with a couple of the buttons
Uh-huh.
undone at the top.
Nice and sexy. Mhm.
Yep. He had a big, big silver chain, baggy jeans, and combat boots, and I was like, "Well, he
Who are
looks
you?
like trouble," and
Ooh,
I like trouble. So, all these guys kept coming up and, like, asking me to dance. One guy kissed me, just kissed me on
no.
the lips right there. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm sure he had just taken the ecstasy.
Sounds like
He
the
was
'90s
feeling it.
rave.
And, finally, he comes over and he's like, "I've watched you turn down every guy that's asked you to dance. You're gonna dance with me and you're gonna love it." And I was like, "Oh, okay, Mr. Confident. Let's see." And I just looked at him, I said, "Okay, I'll be the judge of that." And out to the dance floor we went. Now, let me set the scene for this part. They had been playing like techno, like hip hop with a mix of like rave, EDM type stuff.
Yeah,
All of
all
a
the
sudden
remixes when the remixes was
oh,
happening, yeah? Mhm.
100%. Kirk Franklin, "Stomp" comes on.
No.
Yes. "GP, are you with me? God's Property," and I'm going,
Huh? At a
"What is
rave?
what is going on?"
What is going on?
Yes. And I even looked at I was like, "Okay." I love that song. I still love that song. I mean, they must have mixed it. But anyways, so he kinda pulls me in close, and he's like, "So, what's your name?" I was like, "Summer, like your favorite season. What's your name?" He goes, "Guy, like guy." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I said, "Well, it's my 20th birthday today." And he goes, "Well, lucky you, I'm your present." And I was like, "Okay, Mr. Confident. Okay, this is great." So we're dancing and he's like, "Where are you from?" And I said, "Well, I'm not from here. I actually am here on just vacation. It's my birthday and I flew out here." And he's like, "Where are you from?" And I said, "San Diego." And he goes, "No way." He's like, "I go out there all the time. My mom and sisters live there." I'm like, "Oh, small world." So we keep dancing, and then finally we go off and meet his friends, and finally, Josh comes back. I'm like, "Oh my god, you're home. You're back." And so, he was ready to go. Well, I was just having fun. Like, I was ready to stay, and that did not happen. So, Guy runs over to the DJ booth, and he grabs a pen, and he hands it to me and a piece of paper. He's like, "I need your phone number." Oh, and I missed the most important part. When we were out there, God's property, Kirk Franklin, he pulls me in close and he looks me dead in the eyes and he goes, Summer, I'm going to marry you and I'm going to make you happy for the rest of your life. And I was like, Sir, you're crazy. And I literally had just called off an engagement and like completely like broke a man's heart. And I was like, yeah, I don't think you know who you're talking to right now, but okay, dude. And so I was staying at my aunt's house. I genuinely did not know her phone number. So I was like, well, I guess I can try and give him a number. We'll see. So we left. I honestly did not think about it. And the next morning, my aunt and I had a really long conversation, and she was like, why don't you just come and live here for a little bit? Why don't you? I didn't tell her about the meth, but I just told her, look, I'm not in the best place in my life, and I don't know that I want to go back right now. And
Yeah.
she's like, you know what? Just stay here with me. So I called my mom and I was like, "Can you just bring my stuff up? I think, I have nothing there right now." And so she drove my little Saturn and with, the few things that I had, and the phone rings. And my
Oh,
aunt's like,
no, it's Guy.
"Summer, there's a guy named Guy on the phone." And I was like, "What?"
The one that wants to marry you.
"Oh, I know your phone number." So get on the phone and he's like, "So you remember me? You think?" And I was just like, "Yes, I mean, it was last night. Of course I remember you." And so long story short with that part, he was getting ready to go on deployment. And so he was headed to West Palm Beach, Florida, where he's originally from, for 10 days. And he was like, "Can we talk on the phone?" And I was like, "Absolutely." And we were on the phone for quite a while. So every day that he was gone, we talked. And I had told him that I actually decided to um, stay there for a while and just give it a shot. And I actually got a job at the Outback that Josh took me to. And so I was
Full
able
circle.
to figure things out there. So it comes time for him to come back to Washington. And he's like, "Well, this works out great for me. You can pick me up." And I was like, "Oh, can I?" Okay. So I didn't remember what this guy looked like though, because
Just
we didn't
confident.
have
Yeah.
social media or text messaging. So I was just like, please let him look like he is from NSYNC. Please let him look hot. Like, I don't know what was going on that night with some of the stuff I had in my system with the lights. Who knows?
Well, who knows?
Well, in walks 98 degrees, and
Okay.
he was so cute.
He was
So
it.
he was something. So we hung out. And then I took him back to the ferry because he had to take the ferry back to the ship he was on. And I went back to my aunt's house, and, he called me and he's like, can you pick me up? I have a couple days off. Like, I just had to report and I can come hang out with you." And so I asked my aunt, she was like, "Yeah, bring him over and no big deal." So we go around my aunt's house, and, we had no idea what to do. He did stay the night, but let me just say, I slept in my bedroom, he was downstairs, it was not like that. But I but it was just very funny because I'm like, "Okay, what am I doing? Why do I like this guy?" And I really did like him, like, he was super fun to talk to, he was super cute. Um, it was just it was nice. And so my aunt suggests that we go to this fair the next day. And I was like, "Oh, I love fairs. Yes." And I'm thinking
Fairs are the
the
best.
Del Mar Fair. Like,
Yeah.
I can go and wear a cute outfit. We can take, pictures in the photo booth, walk around with a turkey leg, go see vendors, ride a couple rides. And that's what I'm genuinely like, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. So we get dressed up again, crop top. Actually, no.
It's the
This
90s.
time I had on a silk shirt, and I remember it's purple. I have a picture. This purple shirt, and, it had the buttons here, and then it flared open, so it showed your belly ring because everybody had their
Yes.
belly button pierced.
Everybody had it. So did I. Yeah.
Yep, and then the black hot pants, hot shorts,
Yep.
and wedges.
And wedges. Oh, the wedges. You had to do the wedges with the shorts. Yeah.
And Guy had on his, like, statement piece, which was, his button-up shirt or down shirt, whatever, baggy jeans, combat boots, so cute. We go to the fair. Okay.
What did you do at the fair, Summer?
First of all, it wasn't a fair. It was a 4-H judging competition in the middle of
No.
nowhere. Yes. So it was young kids showing off their chickens, their prize goats, their
No.
cows. There were a couple gypsies like selling jewelry out of a van. And here comes Ken and Barbie. I mean, we looked ridiculous. Everybody was just kind of like, what is happening? And so were we. But we were troopers and we were like, we're going to go look at the animals and stuff. So there happened to be somebody that had a very small um, cotton candy machine. And so I told Guy, I'm going to go get us some cotton candy. Well, while I was getting cotton candy, he was talking to the gypsies.
Okay.
And
Selling
I
the
come
jewelry out of the van.
out of the van.
Oh, he must have liked you somehow.
Oh, did he? And just like that, I turn around. There's a cow pooping, like a big cow with its tail up, just taking a dump, and Guy on one knee
No.
with
No.
a little silver ring that he bought from a van from a gypsy at a 4-H fair. And he was like, listen,
No,
this was like
Summer.
his spiel. Um, I'm going away for 6 months. And I am worried that if I don't do this now, I may never see you again. And I want to make sure that you are there the day that I come home. So, will you marry me?
No way. This
And I,
sounds like a story out of the Second World War when people got married because they were deployed.
yeah. Oh, it was ridiculous. It was
Wow.
ridiculous.
What did you
So,
say?
I, yes.
What?
I was like, of course, Mr. 98 degrees. Why not? Why not? Okay, after
Why
literally,
did
like, after
oh!
planning a wedding, and my mom can attest to this, like, I had this beautiful big dress, the 90s. I had a stunning, gorgeous heart diamond ring, wanted to get married at Coronado. I had, like, the whole thing, and I completely broke it off and was like, "I am 19 years old. What am I thinking?" Oh, but
Wow.
20, I'm mature now. I'm ready to be I'm
Ready.
Mrs. So,
Mrs.
we go
98 degrees.
Mrs. Not oh, bring it on,
Well,
yes.
I know for a fact that Guy is not your husband today, so I cannot wait to hear the rest of this.
So, we go back to my aunt's house, and I was like, "I'm engaged." She was like, "To who?" I was like, "To Guy." She's like, "Guy as in Guy?" I was like, "Guy as in Guy." And she goes, "Summer." I was like, "Aunt Patty, this is amazing." She's like, "Yeah, tell your mom."
Tell your mom, call your
So,
mom.
I'm not telling my mom. "You tell my mom." She's like, "You need to tell your mom." And I was like, "I am not telling my mom." Guy's like, "I'll tell your mom."
No. Oh my word,
Needless to
Summer.
say, my mom did not talk to me for quite a while. But the so that was Sunday. Monday, we went and got whatever we had to do. I can't even remember. I guess we had to file for something. I don't even know. But
Marriage
Tuesday,
certificate, maybe
maybe that's
something
what it
like
was.
that.
I
Yeah.
think we had to get the paperwork started. So um, Tuesday comes around, and I am in jean shorts and a sweatshirt, and I became a Mrs. And at a
Jeans and a
courthouse,
sweatshirt.
yeah, that was my wedding attire. It's literally in a sweatshirt and cut off jean shorts, looking like a floozy, kind of. But I fit in. That's what I should have wore to the freaking fair. And I should have had my other outfit for my wedding day. So we go to the courthouse, and this little old judge marries us. No, we had nobody there. There was like two clerks who stood beside us. And there I
As your
am.
witnesses. Yeah.
Yeah. Just, I mean, 18 days. I met this guy August 10th. I married him August
Whoa.
28th. But the best part of it is I literally had only spent 36 hours with him in person. And I
That
married
is
him.
wild.
I married him. And then he went off and he went and did his thing for 6 months and came back. And then we bought a house. We moved to Virginia. And then we had a set of twin girls, Ashlyn and Brianna. We were married for almost 5 years. and it
Yeah,
just unfortunately 18 days just wasn't long enough, but
it wasn't long enough.
we're still
What
friends, and,
what did your mom say?
she didn't talk to me. So guy started the conversation with saying, "Hey, mom." That's what he said to my mom. My mom's like, "Who are you? What is going on?" "Mom."
"I'm
And
not your mother."
well, she did. I got on the phone and I remember I was so scared because I was just so scared. And the guy that I was engaged to, like I said, did not take it well. And he was like calling my mom all
I
the
can
time.
imagine how you didn't take it
Like
well.
my mom called me one time. She's like, "He's here. What do I do?" I was like, "Kick him out." Like, I don't know. Like, tell him it's over. And I was so sad. And anyways, but my mom just, she probably said a couple cuss words at me, but I just remember where she hung up on me and she didn't answer for quite a while. And she said she just needed time to process. But I was like, guess what? I'm married.
She's probably thinking, "What am I gonna do now? How am I gonna help Summer?" However, though, he really meant what he said on that dance floor when he said, "I'm gonna marry you."
Yeah. You didn't make me happy for the rest of my life, though. So
Yeah, no.
that would have been nice, but no.
No.
So we were married for 18 days or 18 days. We knew each other for 18 days. And it's my favorite story to tell my daughters. Like, and they're always like, "Mom, you met a guy at a rave." At a rave, and you married him. And
At
then
a fancy
and they're
rate.
like, "And you judge us. You judge our life
But this is
decisions."
why we judge you, because we know the stuff
This is
that we did.
exactly why, because I did this. And you know what's so funny is that I love this story. I moved to Florida with his dad, who I had never met. I had to pick him up at the airport, I had no idea who I was picking up, drove cross country from Washington to Florida, lived in Florida for a couple of months without him, just trying. I don't even know why I went there. Then moved to Virginia, again by myself, just picked up, got a house, did all the things. I wasn't even 21. Got a job, it was amazing, and then he came home, and then we bought a condo and had babies, and it's my favorite story. But I would never do that.
I know, can you
A,
imagine?
I would never go to a rave, but I would never entertain the idea of marrying a guy in 18 days.
Can you imagine, like, being your mom on the receiving end of that, getting that call,
I would
as
love her to
parents
tell it.
now, like
Oh,
today, like, what we would think, and of course, we love our kids, so you're not gonna be like, "Well, I'm never gonna speak to you again ever in my life," but it definitely would be a shock, but, as you're sharing this,
she didn't talk
I
to me for a while.
I bet. I keep seeing a strength in you as you're sharing this and I hope you realize how strong that, God has made you, with the things that you have walked through and even moving by yourself, that's not a lot of people can do that, to
Well,
pick
I
up and
moved
go
3
and do.
times.
I
I
know,
moved
tell me.
from it's crazy. Like, I was thinking about that too, where I was such a gypsy, like, just such a soul, and I loved it. I mean, I have lived all over, and some of the best memories.
So tell us, for those of us, because when Bill and I got married too, we didn't have a lot of money, so the ring that I got wasn't like, the most expensive ring. So did you keep the ring? Did he ever replace the ring, or was
He
that
did
the ring that
no.
was
He replaced it that, like, right after I think that's what we did the next day is we went and got wedding bands or like an actual ring and wedding bands. That's what
gotcha.
we did. And then that way we had them obviously to
Yeah,
exchange because within like 2 hours, my finger was turning, green.
yeah,
So,
that's right.
but my favorite part is literally there was a cow pooping. Like I look over and I was like,
The cow's when he's
and
proposing.
he's on a knee and I'm going, okay, this is not at all. This is so me. And there I was in my wedges and with a piece of cotton candy.
Getting proposed to,
Yeah.
thinking you were going to a fair when you were actually going to, like, a judging competition for animals.
For goats. There were so many goats there.
But look, your daughters are beautiful.
They're
They
amazing.
love the Lord. They're amazing young ladies.
They are amazing, and I will say, you know, I think thinking about my 20s, because then I became a single mom,
Mhm.
um, and that in and of itself was a journey, but those 2 blessings from that one night in a rave I would not trade for anything, and all the all of the hard work and just the going through some things that I had to go through, but, um, it's just showed me, like, I see God's hand in all of it, and even though Guy and I didn't make it, like that, we have 2 beautiful daughters, and he he was we were friends for a long time. I mean, I still in fact, we were just at our daughter's college graduation together, reminiscing about this very story not even a year ago, and just laughing about the cow and the calling my mom and the sweetness and the craziness of being young and wild and free, because that's how we felt.
So even in the midst of the hard and the devastation, of course, because, you became a single mom, God still redeems, and there's still a path to where you do share these beautiful girls together,
We do.
and to where you can still have a moment where you laugh about it. Doesn't make it all okay, but it does show that there's growth and healing, in God's story of redemption for us, right?
Well, and I think that again, there's such a beautiful thing about aging. Some things not so much, but um, the maturity that comes with age, and not just realizing the things that we did, but you know, seeing how certain behaviors change over time and feelings. Because there was a period of time I did not like him at all,
Oh, sure. Yeah,
like my
I can
least
imagine.
favorite human. But I also look and I'm just so grateful for that night in that club, because I would not have the best uh, girls, and they've been my lifeline. Like they are everything to me, all four of them. But Ash and Bree are we had our time, we had our days together, we kind of grew up together, so it was a beautiful journey.
I love that. I
I love
love
it.
that. I think this is incredibly powerful. Thank you for sharing this. And for those of you listening, I want to encourage you, share your stories with us. Did you get married on a whim? What is your story? We want to hear it. We want you to write it into us, write it as a comment, email us, please.
Yeah, were cows at your engagement?
Absolutely.
Goats?
What?
Chickens?
Yes.
But they were like show chickens, by the way. These were designer animals, like,
I've seen them. I know what
oh,
you're talking about. It's
these
legit. I mean,
oh,
it's serious business. Yes.
and the people there, and I just remember everybody stopping and, like, when they were watching us, like, "What are these?" I mean, because they were in their gear, like, I mean, flannels. I mean, they
It's
were
very
serious. And
serious, yeah.
here we walk in, Mr. and Mrs. California is what we look like. Florida and California. So,
Chipped
it was
hair. Oh
hilarious.
my goodness. Wow, what a wild story.
It's
Well,
fun.
praise God for the redemption. So ladies, please visit thewomenproject.net and go check out our written blog and of course our podcast here as well. We have incredible merchandise, like this very nice hat I'm
Oh,
wearing,
yeah,
and we
our
have
shirts.
great shirts. And if you write your stories into us, we're gonna pick the top 3, and at the end of this incredible series, we are going to highlight 3 people's stories. And for those we do, we're going to send you a hat so you can present well that you have a wild story, but that you are part of God's incredible woman project and that He loves you so, so very much. If you did not see our first episode, please go back and go listen to a little bit more about us. And
Oh,
we
that's
invite you to
coming.
come back, subscribe, like, share this with a friend that needs to laugh. And we cannot wait to see you for our 3rd episode.
That'll be a fun one too.
It
Thank
sure
you.
will.
Thanks for
God
letting
bless
me
you.
reminisce.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. Thank
Oh,
you for
you're
joining us,
welcome.
ladies. We love you.
Have a
See you
great
next time.
day.
God bless.